Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you guys how I created my chatbot. Instead, I didn't use Dialogflow because I was having trouble opening it up. Instead, I used Labdbot app. And this is how the app looks. And you can just you can build a chat box over here, but this is the one that I created. This is how you can create it by web. There's different kinds you can do. This is like if you don't want to start from scratch, you can just use these outlines and templates. However, I started from scratch, so it doesn't really matter what you do. So I'm gonna start from scratch just to show you guys how I did it. Okay, this is how it started, and this is where I started. They told me that I had to I needed a name in order to start, so I just used the name of the school. And then where it says new bot, I'm just gonna erase it and put whatever I want to put. I'm gonna put hypertension. And then this is where it all starts. This is the beginning of the chatbot. I don't want to leave this image there, so I'm gonna remove the image. And when doing it, there's a design section, there's a build section. This is the design section. It shows the layout and the font that you want and the type of background you would want. And then this is the settings, and this is how you share it, and this is how you analyze it. So back to the build section. So we're gonna write what we're gonna start with. You can start with hi, hello. By the way, this is the one that I created. I'm gonna say start again. So these are my options that I chose: hi, hello, and hey. So if you click on hey, this is what I would say. Thank you for reaching out to Labdbot. I will be more than glad in assisting you to learn more about your blood pressure. And then if you write, let's say we write, I'm feeling good. It's gonna say no results found because I already had created options so it can make the chat box easier. So we're gonna click on I'm not feeling well, and then we're gonna have to press enter. In order to do all of this for create options, we're gonna go back to the Labdbot section so I can show you. It says hi, and I'm going to say hello. And then if I also want to add more options, I can just keep writing hey, whatever I want to do. How are you? These are responses that would come from the other end. This is not coming from the chatbot, but this will be coming from the user. And then I would have to create a response to this. So every time the user click on hi, hello, hey, or how are you, it's going to show my response as the chatbot. The chatbot will respond. I'll click on send a message. There's many different options. You can show a video, you can show a text, you can do anything. However, I'm going to click on send a message because I will be responding back to the user. I'm going to say you can click on you can write anything. I'll say, how are you? Thanks for reaching out. And then once I do that, I can connect all of the other options that the user will say to my message, to the chatbot message, which is going to be how are you, thanks for reaching out. I'm not going to be focused on capitalizing and doing all that other stuff because this is just an example. And then in order for the user to respond to what I wrote, the user can respond in this way. So in order for the user to respond, they can use buttons. The buttons, when you click on it, this is the way it can show the user any options to click on. I would have to ask a question in order to keep the conversation going with the user. So I can click on anything. I can type in anything that I would ask. Like say I wanted to ask, what is your name? If I ask what is your name, I would have to give options for the user to have, because I can't give them, but I can't give them any. I would have to give them options in order for them to respond. They can't just write anything because it would confuse the chat bot. So I would say Fatu. That's my name. And I can add more options, any more options. That's how I created all of this. When the patient asked, when I asked the patient, how can I assist them? And they said they wasn't feeling well, I said I was sorry to hear that, and if they can further explain how they're feeling. And then, I'm sorry, the video got cut off. So I'm gonna continue. Where we're showing the options, it's gonna also read it as if that's what the patient is saying. However, that's not what the patient is saying. I was having trouble removing this, and then it says choose an option. The patient, the user can choose either one of these options. I'm sorry if I keep saying patient. And then, in order for me to give them those options, I had to create a button. And to create a button, I'm sorry, this is my example of the one I was doing. In order to create a button, this is the one that I did, but I'm gonna go back to the sample that I started. In order to create a button, I would have to drag the first message to the second message, and then it will give me an option. I'll show you right here. It will show me the options, and I'll click on buttons, and then I'll write the question that I have for the user, and then I'll just keep adding buttons. And when I keep adding buttons, that's keep giving the patient, the user options. It's giving them choices to answer from, because if they just type in anything, it won't go through. It will say that this is not found. So after it comes from there, if the patient, if the user was to choose an option, I was gonna say, what is your name? I'm sorry if the camera keeps moving. I'm doing this while typing. Okay, so if I was to say, what is your name, and gave them options, if they said their name was, college of, if they said their name was Fatu, let's just use that example, then these would be the options. I can give them an image to choose from, or I can just write a regular text message. I can ask for a phone number, ask for a name. I can even ask multiple questions at the same time. And a yes or no question. I'll ask them the question over here. I'll have to erase this and then click apply in order to do that. And then they'll have to click yes or no. And if they click yes or no, we just would continue keeping the conversation going by adding arrows and sending messages and buttons. Let's go back to my first example, the assignment. So because the patient said they was not feeling well, I asked them, can they specify how they're feeling? And these are the options I gave them. And these are also symptoms of hypertension. So the patient can click on either one of them, and it's going to be tied back to the same thing. I'll show you from my example here. I'm sorry. Okay, if the user was to click on I'm feeling nauseous, or I have a headache, my breathing isn't normal, I am fatigued, my heart rate is irregular, I have chest pain, or my blood pressure has increased, it's all going to tie back to this message. I am sorry that you are experiencing that. We are here to help you. I did this so I wouldn't have to create a box for each of these choices. So I just created one arrow and connected it to this message to make the chat easier for the user. And then the user can click on either one of them. We'll just click on I have chest pain. But because it's like I said, it was tied back to this would be the option. This would be the answer to all of the options they chose. So if they say I have chest pain, I will say, I'm sorry you're experiencing that, and we're here to help you. And I believe that you're experiencing hypertension. And I'm going to ask them if they know hypertension, because it may be some people know it and some people don't. And if they click yes or no, it was also tied back to the same answer. It was also tied back to the same answer. Here I have the both arrows for yes and no connected back to this message. And I explained, great, I will briefly explain what it means to you. So even if the user, I'm sorry if I keep saying patient, even if the user says yes or no, this was going to be the response to the user. And then I asked, do you know what your blood pressure is? And then they can say either yes or no. I'm going to say no. And if they say no, this was the option where I gave them yes or no. And then if they was to say no, I just explained to them that they can go to any clinic near them to get their blood pressure. And then I gave them more information about what hypertension is. And then I asked them if they would like to continue, to click continue. And if they didn't, they can just say no, thank you. If they say no, thank you, this would be the option. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Okay, so because I ended the conversation, I would have to start over again in order to get back to the beginning. Because this is not dialogue flow, it won't be the same. So I'm going to say start again. It gives me the option if I want to continue or start again, which is great, because if I say that I want to continue and like say something happened with my computer, it wouldn't start me over. And sometimes I know using these as a user, sometimes we're rushing on the chat bot or anything. So I like that option that I gave. But I'm going to click on start again. I'll click on hi. How can I assist you? I need help. And then I just gave them options again. And then I asked, do you know what hypertension is? Again. And we're going to say yes this time, because the first time we said no. And when we say yes, I'm going to explain it to the user. And then I'll ask them if they know what their high blood pressure is. And because the first time I clicked no, I'm going to click yes this time. And when I click yes, it's going to explain. I'm going to ask them if they want to continue to learn more. And I told them that if they want to continue to learn more, I would need to know more information about them, like their age and their race. Because based on their age and their race, there's different blood pressure goals, and there's different treatments to it. If I'm not sure if you understand. And I said continue because I would like to continue to chat about with the user in order to keep getting more information. So I told them, like, if you're under a certain age, your blood pressure goal should be 140/90. And I told them if you're over 60, it should be 150/90. And then I explained to them, I asked them if they met their goal. And this is the part where I asked them, have you met their goal? And if they say yes or I'm almost there, that's the two options I gave them. So at least like they won't have an option to choose no, because that would further the conversation and the chat box would get confused. So if they choose almost there, it also gives the user hope that like they're almost there. So, and then if it was yes, I connected it to this section. I created this message I'll show you how to create a message. Like, I'll just create one right here, and then when I'm done, I'll delete it. send a message. I'll write whatever I have to say, and that will be my response to this. In order to create a response, the only options, I'm going to just delete this real quick. In order to create a response, the options were send a message or give media. Buttons is usually when you have to ask a question, and when you ask the question, then the user responds. It gives the user options. Other than that, it's best to just click on send a message, because then you're just stating what you have to say. But if you want to continue the conversation with the user, you would have to click on button, or you would have to ask them something. It can be their username, their email, anything, or a yes or no question. And then I'm gonna just delete this here. And then after that, I explained to I'm sorry. So I asked them if they met their goal, and I told them to better assist you. I'm sorry. So yeah, I made a mistake. I'm supposed to connect this back here. I deleted it the other time. So yeah, I connected yes to, so if they said yes, that they met their blood pressure goal, I would automatically let them know that the lifestyle changes they should take in order to better their health. And also I told them if they're taking any prescriptions, for them to continue taking prescriptions and to just change their lifestyle. And then I also told them that it was a pleasure helping them today, and I asked them if I answered all their questions. And then I did a rating. So because on some chat boxes, it'll be best to know if you're helping, if the information you're giving the user is useful or not. In order to do this, I'm gonna just delete this to show you. I had to create, it says, I'm sorry. I had to create a rating. You can choose a rating or a scale, but I chose rating. And there's also other things, like you can choose, I'm sorry, give me 1 second, A/B test. It will give you an option to choose percentage. Like, it's all about rating. So I just chose rating. And when I chose rating, this is what it came up. And then the question that I wanted to rate them about, my question was, did I answer all of your questions? And then there's 3 different type of stars. There's other type of stars, but I just chose the 3 stars to keep it basic. And then I'm gonna just delete this because I already have it here. It was just to show you guys how I did it. And then I'm gonna connect that message to this message. So if the user said they met their goals, I explained the lifestyle changes they had to make, I advised them to do a rating. And after they did a rating, no matter which rating they chose, I connected it to this message. I'm glad I could help. Thank you for using Labdbot. Have a great day. I'm sorry. Yeah. So also, and for those who said they haven't met their goal, I told them that I would need to better assist them. And in order for me to do that, I needed to know their race. And then the 2 options was black and non-black. So if the user was black, I told them the medications they should take, and they should get advised by their doctor if they had any more questions or concerns. And if they was non-black, I told them the same medications they should also take. And if they also wanted, they can speak to a provider to further assist them on which medication would best complement them. And then all of that tied back, both of the answers, whether there was black or white, and the medications they had to take, it tied back to the lifestyle changes they had to take. All of the lifestyle changes would be the same no matter the race or the gender, the race or the age group, because the lifestyle changes was all about reducing drug use or the alcohol intake. They would have to be physically active for a certain amount of days in a week, and they would have to change their diet, their eating habits, in order to level their their glucose level, their glucose level. I'm sorry, and then I just told them, thank you for your time and effort. I'm happy to help you. And then I also tied that all the way back. I had to create an arrow all the way back to the rating question that I asked the user who haven't met their goal. I tied it back to the rating question so I can know what if I helped this user also or not. And then it also tied back to, thank you for using Labdbot. Have a great day. I tied 3 of them back to it. So even though the options were different, at the ending, they all tied back to the same rating and the same ending message. And then with this is how it would show up on a user's end. So on the user's end, I'll just click, I'm almost there. I'm showing them like I'm a user. However, I know what my blood pressure is now, but I haven't met the goal. And depending on my age group, my goal would be different. I can be over 60 and my goal is different, and under 60 and my goal is different. But I haven't met my goal yet. So the chatbot is going to say, in order to better assist you, I need to know more about your race. And I'm going to say I'm non-black. And if saying non-black, if I click on non-black, it will show me that if I'm non-black, these are the medications I should take. But I should also speak to a doctor or a provider to continue to assist me. And then, like I showed you, it all tied back to this. So no matter which option I clicked on, it will still show me the lifestyle changes I had to take. And then after it shows me the lifestyle changes I had to take, I also asked, did I answer all of your questions today? And the user can click on any of the icon. It can be they're satisfied, not satisfied, or whatever it is. And then I said, I'm glad I could help. Thank you for using Labdbot. Have a great day. And that's it. So this is how I created my chat box. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope this helps you in any way